Hey, it's Matt Dunlap, and I have a tutorial for WordPress 3.0, how to run top-level domain names from a WordPress 3.0 multi-user install. Now, WordPress 3.0, they've merged WordPress multi-user and WordPress together, but when you install WordPress, you don't see the network. Now, you can follow the link in the description of this video and go to my website, and I have a tutorial on how to enable basically networking. They call it, you're creating a network or a community, but basically you enable the network and you can make multi-sites. So this is after that, and I've enabled it. This is a WordPress 3.0 normal install. I've enabled it so that I have multi-site ability, and you can see over here I have super admin. Now I have a top-level domain of hit6, and that's what I have installed this on. And I've made one subdomain so far. So matt.hit6.com. You'll see that it shows it right here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn matt.hit6.com into a top-level domain name. I have, I believe it's digitalcameraadvice.com. I'm going to turn it into. Okay, so most of this is going to be done. I think you can do this actually from the back end, but I do all this from the domain, from the database. Now if you look over here at all the tables in the database, during the first install it doesn't install all these, so after you do the networking it's going to install all the old WordPress MU tables. The tables that we're going to be working with is going to be WP_site, WP_blogs, and the options. Okay, so matt.hit6.com is WP_2. The first blog that you install is going to be WP_, and so you'll be able to get that number if you go to if you actually scroll over it. If you I don't know if you can see this in the video, but if you mouse over the name in the status of your browser, you can see the ID of it, so that might help you out a little bit. So I'm going to go into post options here, and I'm going to change there's 3 settings that I have to change. So I'm going to change this one to go like this. Digitalcameraadvice.com. And since that's a long domain name, I'm just going to copy it, say go. And I believe that there's nothing else on this page. The next page we're going to change the home. Basically wherever you see, I keep on forgetting to edit it, wherever you see the domain name you're going to change it, and I believe there's 3 places, one on each screen, and the last one is where we upload the files. Yeah, right here. So we're going to change all that to the new domain name. Okay, so that's it for the options. So basically, so far I've changed the domain name in the website that I want to make a top-level domain. I've changed the options. I've changed the domain name. Okay, now I go down here into site, and I'm going to add it to this one. So I'm going to insert basically the domain name. Just going to add the domain name, and then the path is just the slash. Okay, cool. So now I have those 2. And so now I go into blogs, WP blogs, and you'll see that this is where all the normal subdomains are being held, and I'm just going to change it here again. So I change it. So as you can see, all we really do is we're just changing the domain names everywhere. And on this one, you have to change the site ID. So whatever you just made in the site, in WP site, you have to change the site ID. I believe if you don't change it, the domain name will work. You'll be able to see it publicly, but when you go to log in admin, it won't let you in. It'll keep redirecting you to the original site. And so that's basically it. And now what you have to do is go into site meta and basically copy everything here that was set up for the initial site. You basically make everything for the new site. So let's just run the SQL here. Okay, so this is a SQL script that I get from one of my functions, and basically what I'm going to be doing here is, if you read this SQL script, it's basically inserting into WP site meta, and it just copies everything that the default site has, and it's just going to copy it, if that makes sense. Okay, so I go back and you'll see here that I basically, everything that was for hit6.com has been now copied over to the digital camera advice. Okay, before you have to, I actually messed up a little bit. I should have done this before I started everything. But before you can actually get the domain name to point to the proper WordPress install, you have to add it as a server alias to the virtual host. So if you look here, this might be unfamiliar to you. Now I think that you can just park a domain. If you're using a shared host, it gives you the ability to park domains. I'm 99% sure that that will do the same thing, and will give you a nice little front end. I do everything through the through SSH, so I'm just going to add it here by hand. digitalcameraadvice.com. So the server alias, I actually have to give it a wildcard here, and then you can give it a wildcard, and then if I give Digital Camera Advice a wildcard, then I'll be able to actually add I'll be able to add websites to Digital Camera Advice also. So as you can see, you can chain it, and it can just keep growing and growing and growing. So you can actually make multiple networks from one install. So I'm actually going to do that. And so digital, I'm going to give it the wildcard, and then I'm going to type it again. And that should do it. So save that file, and now I'm going to restart the server. Okay, cool. Now, if I cruise over to, let's cruise over to Digital Camera Advice. And there you go. So Digital Camera Advice now is pointing to matt.hit6.com. So you see here that it's a WordPress install. It says over here just another Hit6 website. It's got the title, which is Matt, which is default whenever you make a new subdomain. So that's about it. I'm going to be covering this over on my blog also. If you want to get any more information, and I'll have all the settings there. But this is where WordPress is a lot more fun, because subdomains suck, and we all want to have a network full of top-level domains, basically. Okay, thanks.